Well, hello marketers. Now today in this video, we're going to talk about one of the very important topics of digital marketing, which is called as media planning. And the reason why it's so important is because it's a plan which actually tells you how do you convert your project or how do you generate sales for your project. Now, when you think about learning anything in digital marketing, then basically you start your journey with learning things like different kind of keywords. If it's Google, then you start with keywords. Then you learn search campaign, display campaign, and you learn all different kind of campaigns. If not Google, if it's about digital marketing, then you start your journey with search engine marketing. You learn social media marketing, you learn video marketing, LinkedIn, and you learn different topics in digital marketing so that you can either become a PPC executive or a social media ads executive or a web developer, a social media ad specialist. You always have different profiles over here. And yet I have seen people getting failed in getting a one single job just because they know how to work on different platforms or how to launch campaigns on different platforms. They really know how to launch all different campaigns in Google, but yet they don't know how to control a project because in institutes you have never ever worked on the projects. So it's really important for you to plan the project first. You should be able to know how do you plan the project. So in the first video of this course, we have talked about project planning. So we have created a project planning sheet through which we learned that the marketing objective of this project is branding and sales. Post to that, we have decided all the services starting with social media marketing, SEO, Google Ads, SMM, Facebook and Insta ads. Then we learned about the type of ads we need to have this project, to do this project. We learned about the target audience, the overall cost that we are willing to spend in this project, and then the advertisement platforms. In the second video, we talked about the different type of keyword plannings. We took base keywords in the consideration first, then we pulled out the keywords for Google, and finally we pulled out the SEO keywords as well. In the end, we pulled out the bidding amounts, the low range and high range bidding amounts for all these campaigns together. I'm sorry, for all these keywords together. In the final one, today, we are going to talk about how do you create a media plan so that your campaigns can generate returns for you. So when you think about applying for a job, then the agency or the company owner or the company director is looking to expect some results from you. They are willing to know if you'll be able to derive the results or you are just there wasting the money. So it's not only about running the campaigns, launching the ad copies, launching the ad creatives, or even launching different keywords in the campaign. It's all about generating the results. This is something which clients are looking from you. If you cannot generate the results, you cannot become an expert. And trust me, it gets very difficult for you to get a job until you know the science of media planning. Now, if I simply walk you through the definition of media planning, it's the process of determining how and where your ads are shown to a target audience to generate the maximum returns. So the five things which are really important to understand is how to show the ads, which means what campaigns you choose, when to show the ads, which means if you show the ads during the weekdays or the weekends or maybe throughout the month, where to show the ads, which means the placements. You decide if you show the ads on Google, Meta, LinkedIn, or maybe TikTok. Who is your target audience? And finally, how do you generate the returns after spending the money at different places? So, media plan is just like having a plan, having a map so that you can navigate a ship and you can take this ship to its destination. Now, without any further ado, let's understand the media planning format first. So, I'm going to take off all these numbers from this sheet so that we can start our journey by creating the entire media plan from the scratch. Now, the first thing that you have to understand in media plan is the platform. So media plan is basically for paid platforms. So for this project, in the project planning sheet, we had decided to make a plan for Google, Facebook, and Instagram, which are our advertisement platforms. And over here in the media planning sheet, we have to divide this platform in different campaigns. So we have decided that we'll be running different campaigns in Google. We are going to run two campaigns for branding. which means display and video. And you also have to understand we have these two campaigns are available for branding services. Now, this project planning sheet shows you that we have decided to do branding and sales for this plan, for this entire project. So in media planning, we are choosing display and video as the branding campaigns. And these four campaigns, search, shopping, performance max, and dynamic remarketing, are the sales campaigns. Because it's the project for e-commerce, that's why we are taking shopping, performance max, and dynamic remarketing. Had it been a service-based project, a project for which we only generate leads, we will not be taking these three campaign types. Then in Meta, we are talking about taking 6 different campaigns. Cool. Now in placement, for Google, we are going with GDN, which means Google Display Network. For video, ads goes to YouTube. For search, ad goes to Google Search and Partners. For shopping, it goes to shopping and shopping partners. Performance max ad goes to all the inventories of Google, which means starting with search, display, Gmail, YouTube, and also Google Maps, along with Google Discovery. Discovery means your Google app. Then Meta ad goes to Facebook and Instagram. It also goes to Facebook and Instagram Messenger and sub audience network. However, we want to show the ads only to Facebook and Instagram. Then these are the these are the ad types for all of these campaigns. The target audience is Delhi NCR female 1835. Types are going to be views and clicks. Then here we calculate the clicks, the average bidding amount, the overall cost, also the cost for each and every campaign that we have to bifurcate. In ad visibility, we have two options, CTR and impressions. In conversions, we have three parameters, conversion rate, total number of sales, which means conversions, and cost per sale. So here we have to decide all of these metrics for this project, which we can use to create all the campaigns. Now, trust me, campaign creation is not the difficult part. Once you know what all campaigns you have to create, how much budgets you are assigning for each and every project, then it's all about deploying the campaigns. It's pretty easy to deploy the campaign. You can learn it from Google. You can learn it from, different videos from different courses. Maybe it's one of the easiest part to launch the campaign. The most difficult part is to plan the project for that campaign and then to optimize the campaign so that you can start generating the returns out of it. You don't end up making losses for the brand, right? So now let's start making a media plan for this project, which is springtails.shop. Now I hope you have already been to this website, which is a e-commerce jewelry store. We already have 4 products over here, and the average order price, which is called as AOV, which is average order value, for all of these products together, the average would be somewhere in between 400 to 500 rupees, right? In fact, I have a sheet available for all the digital marketing terms. So let's say if you want to master digital marketing, you need to understand all these and go through all these terms. I just want to add AOV over here, which means average order value. All right. So the sheet starts with impressions. Impression means how many times your ads are shown to different people. Then clicks. When somebody clicks the ad, it's counted as a click. Then PPC, the cost that you pay for a click. The CTR is the rate of click. So let's say out of 100 times your ad is shown, if 5 people click the ad copy, then you have the 5% CTR. Conversion rate is rate of conversion. So if 100 people come on the website, out of which 2 people purchase the item, it's called as conversion rate of 2%. Conversions, total number of sales, CPE or CPL, cost per sale, target audience is the target customer. So you really have to use all these terms in our media planning sheet. Cool. Now, how to define or how to bifurcate the budgets in both of these platforms, Google and Meta. So let's get into the keyword or the project planning sheet and find out the total amount that we have decided. This amount is something which you either get from a client or an agency If not so, then you decide a budget if you are doing this project for yourself after discussing it with the manager. So let's say you already have this assigned budget, which is 30,000 INR. Now this budget has to be divided into different platforms. Now we have two platforms available, Google and Meta. And Google is a bit expensive platform than Meta. So we always assign a larger budget to Google as a platform than Meta. So let's say we assign somewhere around 20,000 to Google and remaining 10,000 goes to Meta, which means we are talking about assigning 2/3 of the amount to Google and remaining 1/3 goes to Meta. Now in Google, first of all, we have to assign budgets to the branding campaigns. As I told you, display and video both are the branding campaigns in Google, and remaining four are the sales campaigns. So now let's decide, or let's assign a budget of 1,000 rupees to display and 1,000 rupees to video. That's it. Then let's assign somewhere around 6,000 to search, 6,000 to shopping, and 4,000 to performance max. And dynamic remarketing, we have to keep a very low amount for dynamic remarketing because this campaign shows your ad to people who have already been on the website. Maybe they have added the product to the cart, they have added the product to the checkout page, and yet not purchased the item, or they have just visited the website. So that's why the audience and dynamic remarketing is always less. So let's assign 1,000 rupees over here, and we have a sum of 19,000. So we can assign 5,000 INR to Performance Max campaign. Now we have assigned 20,000 rupees to Google. Now let's move forward with Meta as a platform. Now here we assign 1,000 to awareness campaign, which is a branding campaign. Then we assign around 4,000 to traffic. We assign 4,000 to conversion, 2,000 to product catalog. This is going beyond 30,000, 1,000 to lookalike. Now lookalike campaign is basically an audience which gets generated in Meta by itself when you create a remarketing audience. So whenever you create an audience list in Meta, along with the audience list, Facebook or Meta also creates a list by itself. We call it lookalike audience or similar audience. And then we assign remarketing to Meta again. So this becomes 33,000 rupees, which means we have to decrease the cost of traffic campaigns from 4 to 3,000, and maybe we assign somewhere around 2,000 to conversion campaign. Cool. So now we have divided 10,000 rupees in Meta campaigns and 20,000 rupees in Google campaigns. I still think we need to add some more budget in traffic campaign. So let's say we take out the budget from awareness campaign and remarketing campaign and add that budget in the traffic campaign. So we are going with 4,000 for traffic, 2,000 for conversion, 2,000 for product catalog, and remaining goes to other campaigns in Meta. Now, the second thing that we have to pull out is the average bidding amount. This is again the most important factor of this entire plan, how much you are willing to pay to get one single click from different campaigns. So what I do, I simply take you to the keyword planning sheet. In this sheet, in the last video, we have pulled out the keyword bidding amounts on different paid keywords, where we have the top of the paid page low ranges and top of the page high ranges. Low range means when we want to pay as low as 1.58. In fact, this is the amount which Google has charged for this keyword in the past. So these two figures are the bidding amounts that Google has charged from different companies. Google is recommending us to bid somewhere in between 1.58 if we want to stay in the companies who are paying the lowest amount, till 15.95 in the list of companies who are paying the highest amount. So now the average of all these figures is somewhere around 3. If I simply show the average, it's 3.1. And the average of high bidding amounts is around 22. And let's say you want to stay somewhere in the middle of these two numbers. So you simply add 3 plus 22 divided by 2, which means somewhere around 14. Cool. So here we get our bidding amount for a search campaign. So let's say we go with somewhere around 10 INR for search campaign, so that we don't really pay a very high amount for one single clip, just because we don't even have a good budgets over here. Now we have to calculate the total number of clicks. So we have a formula. We simply have to put in the is equal to sign. We go to cost column and divide it by average bidding amount. So we simply divide the overall cost of that campaign with cost per click. So we get the total number of clicks. Similarly, we can find out the average bidding amounts for all the campaigns, and we can divide these bidding amounts with the overall budgets. Now for branding, for display campaign, we easily get a click from 0.6 to 1 rupee. For video campaign, it's even cheaper. We get a view in at the cost of 0.5, which means 50 paisa. And you must be thinking how the hell I was able to generate or get these bidding amounts, because you just have one single tool for calculate the bidding amounts for keywords, which allows you to get the keywords for a search campaign. For all the remaining campaigns, you really have to pull out these figures from different ad accounts. So I have this ad account available. This is for a client, service-based business, and for display, this is the display campaign. You can simply see the average cost per click is somewhere around 0.72. So now you know that the average amount for display stays somewhere in between 0.5 till 2 in the Indian market. For shopping, we pay somewhere around 8 rupee for a click. For performance max, it's pretty less. We pay somewhere around 3 rupee for a click. For dynamic remarketing, we can go in between 1 to 2. So we are keeping 2 for this campaign. For awareness campaign in Meta, we pay around 4 rupee for a click. For traffic, a bit higher than awareness. 6 for conversion, even a bit higher than the traffic campaign, because the focus is to generate sales. Product catalog is staying with 7, lookalike maybe somewhere around 5, and remarketing with 5. So that's how we have decided the bidding amounts. And you must be thinking how the hell I was able to capture all these bidding amounts. This is something which I have got from my experience. So I have taken these two accounts as well, just to show you how do I pull up the bidding amounts. So when you run a campaign, you always have all these figures available. And if you also have any project with you, you can pull out the bidding amounts from that project. But project wise also the bidding amount changes. For e-commerce industry, for real estate industry, for maybe any education industry, the bidding amounts always change. So you really need to have some understanding or some experience of all these bidding amounts. Then only you can think about getting the right amounts for you. Now, calculating clicks is pretty simple. You have to put on the equal to sign, go to this column divided by the average bidding amount. And you simply copy and paste the formula across all these cells. Okay, I don't want to copy and paste the color. So I simply divide 500 by 4, which means around 125. So now we are talking about generating 8,811 clicks for all these campaigns together. The average bidding for all the campaigns together is equal to total cost divided by total number of clicks, which means in total we are talking about paying to Google an average fee of 3.40 for getting a click. Then the most important factor, the second one in fact, not the most important really, it's the average or the ad visibility. So ad visibility is containing two parameters: one, total number of impressions; two, CTR. Now the first thing is to get the CTR for a search campaign. For a search campaign, if I simply take you to the account, we usually generate a CTR in between 4 to 8%. So here we have a CTR of around 4.24%. CTR is the interaction rate, which means at what rate your ads are being clicked. So out of 100 impressions, if your ads are clicked by 4 people or by 4 different users, you have a CTR of 4%. So if you are bidding with 10 rupees over here, we can easily get a CTR of around 5%. Now let's say if we increase this bidding amount. So increasing the bidding amount means we are paying higher to Google, and bidding amount is one of the main parameters of Google Ad Rank. So we have two parameters for Ad Rank. It's the bidding amount and the quality score. So if you bid, let's say 20, then the CTR will be get somewhere around 8 to 10%, because higher the bidding amount means higher the ad rank. So more you pay to Google, your chances of getting the ad in the top slots also increases. Now let's say we go with 10 over here with a CTR of 5%. Now how do we calculate the impression? So we have a formula in this DM terms sheet for impression, which is click upon CTR into 100. Or you have a CTR formula, which is clicks upon impressions into 100. Okay, so let me put down this formula in the media planning sheet. So CTR is equal to, CTR is click-through rate, which means click rate of your overall clicks. So this has to be clicks. Now these clicks are out of impressions, which means divided by impressions into 100. So if we have to calculate the impression formula, this becomes clicks divided by CTR into 100. Quite simple. If you take this CTR in percentage, then you simply remove this 100 from here. So here, the impression is equal to clicks divided by CTR percent, which means in Google search campaign, we're expecting 12,000 impressions. Now for display, we get a CTR of around 1%. The chances of clicks are comparatively less in display campaign. For video, we have a CTR of around, it's even lesser than display campaign, because in video people don't really click the ad copies, so it's 0.50%. The objective of display campaign and video campaign together is to spread the brand awareness, so chances of clicking the ads are really less. Then for shopping, we have a CTR of around 6 to 8%. For Performance Max, now Performance Max is a campaign which shows on all the platforms of Google, starting with search, display, video, Gmail, but most of the ad goes to the display campaigns or the display properties. So we go with the CTR of around 2%. For dynamic remarketing, it stays around 2% because the ads are shown to people who have been on the website earlier. So this stays slightly higher than the display campaign, the normal display campaign. In Meta, we have different CTRs. So for awareness, we have a CTR of around 1%. Awareness hardly drive traffic to the website, but yet it will be driving some traffic on the website. For traffic, it has to be around 2%. Conversion, somewhere around the same. Product catalog, somewhere around the same. And then for remaining two campaigns, although CTR stays somewhere around 2 to 3%. Now, for impressions again, we simply have to copy and paste the formulas. So we have already decided a formula for impressions. We have dedicated the formula, in fact, which is reduced the formula, I'm sorry, which means impressions is equal to clicks divided by CTR. Perfect. And we simply copy and paste all of these figures cell by cell. So we are talking about getting this number of impression. Now, if you're doing any project only for branding purposes, then you don't need to get into conversion column. Branding media planning stops over here. So clients are maybe looking for clicks, cost, and impressions. And it's always good that you only give a media plan which is containing clicks, cost, and impressions. The reason I'm saying that is because these figures could really make your life, put your life in trouble. Because if you provide all these numbers, then you also have to generate these numbers. So it's very difficult to generate the number sometimes. I'll tell you why it's difficult to generate these numbers. Cool. Or why sometimes your client won't like these numbers for you. I know media planning is all about pulling out these numbers only, and then I'm saying why not to use these numbers. So until someone asks you to provide these numbers, don't provide these sales numbers. But then it's going to happen very rarely that clients or agencies won't be asking you these numbers. But just in case, if you can avoid providing these numbers, avoid pulling these numbers, avoid it. Just because if you provide these numbers, then it means you have to generate returns for the projects. And then your life can become a bit difficult if you are not able to generate these numbers. However, let's proceed with it. Now, pulling out the conversion rate. So how do we get the conversion rate? One, you pull it from any previous accounts. If you've worked on any jewelry store accounts, then you can pull the numbers from there. I do have an account available, but then I can't show the figures from there. I can simply show you how do you get the conversion rate. So for this project, we have a conversion rate of around 5.79%, which is close to 6%. However, in e-commerce, we don't get that high conversion rate. For a service industry, where customer comes on the website to fill out a form, it's easy to get a form filled. Getting a sale is pretty difficult. So for e-commerce industry, even getting a 2% conversion rate is sometimes a difficult task. Now, for shopping, we have a similar to search campaign conversion rate. Performance max, we can expect around a conversion rate of 1%. For dynamic remarketing, we can go with conversion rate of 1%. For display campaign, we assign NA. Now, the reason why we are assigning NA is because these two campaigns, display and video, are the branding campaigns. So we don't assign or we don't expect any conversion out of these campaigns. Now, for Meta, for awareness and branding, again, NA, NA, and NA. For traffic campaign, we can expect a conversion rate of around somewhere around 2%. Okay, 2%. For conversion, it's going to be higher than the traffic campaign because the focus of a conversion campaign in Meta is to drive sales. And you run this conversion product catalog campaign for a e-commerce sales business. If it's let's say, it's a service-based business where you're filling inquiry forms, you don't go with these campaigns, you go with lead generation campaign or you go with traffic campaign. Once you have good number of conversions, then only you think about getting into conversion campaign, but you don't ever go with product catalog campaign, at least for any uh, non e-commerce based business. Anyways, so let's go with conversion rates for conversion campaigns. This is 3%. Product catalog stays in between traffic and conversion. We can expect around 2.5. Lookalike somewhere around uh, 1%. Remarketing somewhere around 1%. Perfect. Now, this conversion rate is basically how many conversions you are expecting out of the total traffic that comes on the website. So having this 2% means out of 100, we are expecting 2% or 2 sales. So now conversions is equal to 2% of the traffic which comes on the website. So conversion is 2% of clicks. So we are expecting 12 sales. With shopping, we are expecting 15 sales. Performance max, we are expecting 17 sales. Dynamic remarketing, expecting 5 sales. With awareness or branding, we are expecting no sales. Traffic, expecting 13 sales. Conversion, expecting 8 sales. Product catalog, 7. Lookalike, 2. Remarketing, 1. So now we are expecting 80 sales after spending 30,000 rupees. In the previous plan which I made, I kept a conversion rate very considerate for search and shopping campaign. I kept it around 1% in search campaigns, 1% in shopping campaign. That's why it stays around 49%. Now it's very difficult to find out the exact conversion rate. So you have to be very considerate when it comes to putting down the conversion rate numbers. And that's why I was talking about not, giving the conversion numbers until client really ask for it. Now, if I still feel 2% is really difficult to get, so let's say I go with around 1.5%. Oops. So I simply copy and paste over here because the cell is already having the formula 1.5% for search, around the same for shopping. Performance max 1 is fine. Okay, dynamic remarketing 1 is fine. Traffic 2% is pretty high. I don't think it's gonna be available at this rate. Conversion 2%. Product catalog 1.5%, lookalike and remarketing 1%. So we are talking about generating around 64 sales. Now, cost per sale. So it's equal to total number of cost for that campaign divided by total number of sales. So now you can see our most expensive campaign in this entire plan is the search campaign. And the least expensive is dynamic remarketing, performance max, and Facebook campaigns. So Meta campaigns are always going to be cheaper than the Google campaigns because the bidding amount for Google campaigns are higher. But then if the conversion rates of Google campaigns are also higher, also very high as compared to Meta, the cost per sale will also get down. So this is how we actually create a media plan for a shopping based jewelry e-commerce store. Now, how about finding out if the project has made any profit or sale? Now, this is something which your client may not want, but it's always good if you are able to calculate the overall, you know, returns of that project. This is something which you usually don't add in the media plannings, but I always make an extended plan so I can think what exactly the business is doing in the market. You need to understand the businesses in the market, right? Now, AOV is the average order value. So if I simply take you to this website, we have different products with different values. You can simply see the average value will fall somewhere in between 400 to 600 rupees, and I'm keeping 400 as the average order value. Sales is totally is equal to this cell. So we are talking about generating 64 sales. The revenue which we are making is equal to total number of sales multiplied by average order value. So we are talking about generating 25,681 rupees. And now you must be thinking, why the hell we are making a revenue which is lesser than the advertisement is spent? Now this is where the problem occurs, that the revenue, that the amount that we are making is even lesser than the amount that we have spent in this entire month. Okay, let's proceed further. Then I will discuss why the hell we are making a lesser revenue. Now, the product purchase price. So I'm assuming that all these products are purchased at 50% lesser cost, which means we are purchasing these products somewhere in between 150 to 250 rupees. I have checked the pricing of these products in the market as well, and it stays somewhere in around 100 to 250 rupees. So I'm keeping it a bit higher side. So I'm keeping the product purchase price of around 200 rupees. Then the all products which are sold are going to generate this amount. So sales into, I'm sorry, not this amount. Okay, so all product price is like 12,840. Now this is the price, the purchase price of all the products, right? So let's say if our products are available at 100 rupees, then we have a lesser purchase price. If we buy the products or each product at 200 rupees, then we have a higher product price. Then the advertisement cost is 30,000 rupees. This is the amount that we have paid to companies like Google and Meta. Additionally, we have paid the GST as well. So let's not add the GST right now. Otherwise, this amount will raise up to 30,000 plus 18%. So let's not go with it as of now. And the net profit and loss. So the net profit and loss has to be is equal to uh, the revenue, or in fact, so we have to uh, find out the overall profit and losses for this project. So this is equal to advertisement cost plus product revenue, okay, minus purchase price. Damn it. All right. So now, all right. So now once we have pulled out the all product price, which is 12,840, the advertisement cost has to be this number, which means 30,000 is the amount that we have paid in advertisement. All right. The net profit and losses. So to calculate the net profit and loss, we have to add a couple of figures. So let's add the revenue which we have made. This is the amount that we have made minus the overall product price, purchase price, minus the advertisement cost, which makes a loss of around 17,000. In fact, we have to add the service fee as well. So whenever an agency or a company is getting these products or these campaigns by a company, the company will definitely be taking the service fee. But let's not remove the service fee or add the service fee right now. But yet we are making a loss of 17,160. And that's why I was saying to avoid these numbers, because your client will not really like this plan. Clients will never like a plan which makes a losses to them, right? So what we're talking about is, all right, so now as we have pulled out the all products price, which is the purchase price of all the products together, we have to calculate the advertisement cost and the net profit and losses. Now the advertisement cost is simply 30,000 rupees, the amount that we spend in all these campaigns together. So this is the advertisement cost. Additionally, we have paid the GST as well. So, I mean, we can add the GST too with this amount. So this, let's say this plus 18% into 18% of the same cost. This becomes 35,400. And the net profit and losses means we simply add, like, the revenue is the total amount that we have generated minus the product price. This is the amount that we have spent in acquiring the product minus the advertisement cost. So we have booked a loss of around 22,000 rupees. Now, this loss is not even the net loss, is because the company has also paid in services like website development, getting the creatives created to the agency who have run all these, all the amount to run all these ads, right? So let's not put those amounts. Otherwise, this losses will go somewhere beyond 50,000 rupees. Now, that's the reason why I was asking you not to think about generating the conversion of the sales metrics until client really asks you to do that, because your clients will not be really getting happy by seeing this plan. Nobody wants to book the losses for like 22,000 rupees after running this media plan for a month. But that's where your expertise lies. That's how you have to optimize this entire project, optimize all the campaigns, and start making the profit. Now, companies hardly make any profits in the first month. If your clients are really eager to make the profits for the very first month, you don't work for those clients, you don't work for those agencies, because that's not how digital marketing really work. In digital marketing, if you are just relying upon paid campaigns, you don't really make the profits. Now, how do you book the profits? Now, starting from the very next month, or maybe starting from next couple of months, you start getting traffic from SEO as well. You start getting traffic from email marketing. You start getting the organic traffic, traffic which comes by itself. You start getting the referral traffic, and you start getting the repeated customers. Repeated customers. Adding all these customers means now you are starting to get traffic for free, at least from repeated numbers, organic numbers, and SEO numbers. Now, these traffic means additionally you are getting your sales. So you keep on adding sales which you are getting from the paid platforms to the organic platforms. If some companies are relying on the paid platforms, then it's really difficult to generate profits out of it. And even if you are thinking about generating the profits, then you really have to optimize the campaigns very heavily. So let's say if you want to make profits out of this entire plan, what you do, you simply decrease the budget of a search campaign and you put it in a campaign which is driving sale in a lesser amount. So let's say you put this budget in a performance max campaign, or maybe you add this budget to a conversion based campaign, or two different campaigns. And slowly and gradually, you work on different ad groups levels. So you can optimize the campaign. You work on keywords. You work on different age and gender. You analyze the all of the cities where your ads are shown, and you add more cost or you add more budgets to the cities which are converting more sales to your website. So it's all about optimizing the campaign and choosing the right campaigns for your platforms. So I hope now you know how do you create a media plan for any single project. Now people who are watching this video or people who have opted for the course, I wanted to complete these 5 assignments. One, you go through this media planning sheet. Then you make a media plan for Nike, targeting Delhi in Nike on Google with search, shopping, and remarketing campaign. So this campaign or this assignment is for a e-commerce product store. Then you make a media plan for NEET coaching in Delhi for Akash. Now this media plan, which is an education-based media plan, is not going to have a shopping campaign. It's a service-based assignment, so it's going to have search, display, and remarketing campaigns. Not even the performance max campaign. For the third one, which is a real estate business, you create a media plan for 3 and BHK flats for Godrej, for Meta and Google platform, for both. So this one, first one is only for Google, second one is for Meta, and third one is for Meta and Google both. Now, the reason I'm asking you to create all these 3 media plans is to become an expert in media plannings. So you can know how do you create different media plans. Once you know how to create the media plans, it's going to be very easy for you to generate the results. At least you would know if your plans or if your project is going to generate any returns or not. And then people who are looking forward to get into an interview to get a job in media planning field, they can simply come into this sheet, in fact this Google Forms, and they can answer the media plan questions. So they can assess themselves if they are really able to understand media planning in depth or not. These are the questions which you can really get in different interviews in your market. Now, once you submit this entire questionnaire, you view your score. I have randomly filled out the options and you check out your score and you find out if your answers are correct or not. Cool. Now, people who want to start off their or who want to continue their journey in digital marketing, what I want from you is to get into, first of all, I want you to get into to know if media planners can really get a job or not. So people who want to become media planners, they have to learn project planning, keyword planning, and media buying, and they can expect a salaries of around 70 to 90,000, but in the third year only. Initially, you don't get a job in a media planning roles because companies expect you to learn everything in digital marketing, starting with PPC executive, social media executive. So you need to have a good understanding of all different uh, platforms and all different projects. Then only you can think about becoming a media planner. Now, what I want you from you is to decide one single platform for yourself if you really want to become a digital marketer. Maybe you go with Google or you go with Facebook ads or you go with SEO, go with one single platform. Then complete the certificates of Google and Meta in that platform. You complete your job interview questionnaires. I have added the questionnaires in the sheet. Then you improve your communication skills. Now, trust me, if you really want to become a career or become an excellent or having an excellent career in digital marketing, you just can't reach anywhere if you don't work on your communication skills. You complete a digital marketing portfolio, so you will be able to show that you have worked on at least 3 to 4 projects. That's why I've added 3 projects in this sheet, in this Google Ads training sheet, so you can have an understanding of a e-commerce store or an education-based business or a real estate business. So at least if after doing all these assignments, you will be having some understanding of different businesses. Then you can decide a niche for yourself. Niche could means you can decide if you are becoming expert in real estate business or in education or in e-commerce. Then optimize your LinkedIn profile, complete your Naukri profile, Indeed and Glassdoor profile. Then these are the options which can help you to get a job in the digital marketing space. If not, then I'll always recommend people to get a project in digital marketing. Sometimes if it's not a job, then getting a freelancing project really helps you to get money from digital marketing. Now, if I just talk about salaries, you can go through this sheet to find out the salaries at different profiles in digital marketing, starting as an intern then an experience of 1 or 2 years, and then an experience of 2 to 3 years. I hope this video really helps you to understand the science of digital marketing plannings, which means uh, all the planning options in digital marketing. And from the very next video, we can start looking into the different modules of digital marketing. I'll see you in the next one.